Good, and
Hi,
thank
Danny. How
you
you
for
going?
allowing me on.
No worries. I saw a few people in the comments saying let Danny in, so I thought, okay,
Yeah,
let's
well,
have a chat. I'm on
I
a bit
just
of a
wanted to
break,
raise
Danny.
something with you that I've been talking about on my
Yeah,
platforms. Are you aware of the UN
sure.
pandemic laws that they want to bring in?
Yeah,
24th of August.
yes.
So basically, people don't know about that. The UN are basically in
Hmm.
198 countries around the world, sorry, 192 countries around the world, using international law, which will supersede sovereign law. Okay, so our constitution will be worth nothing. These clowns, unelected, will then get to determine when there's a pandemic, who has a pandemic, where the lockdown is. And from my inside information, I've heard they will literally come down to the point where if a husband is not vaccinated and the wife is vaccinated, the husband will be removed to a camp. And we all know the camps that they're building. Everyone was guessing what these camps are for. They're for this UN pandemic bill that they're trying to bring in. And you have to understand, people,
Right.
both the Liberal and the Labor are both UN fanboys and girls, right? They all go for the UN. They love the UN. They're already using UN laws like, so if you're a smoker or a drinker, the reason why the price goes up every quarter or whatever it does is because it's a UN policy, right? And I know this.
Danny, can I
Yeah,
just pause you for a second? Is this separate to the World Health Organization agreement that they are trying
yeah.
to do
This is
globally? Is
separate.
this a
This
separate
is this
agreement
is
that you're
separate.
talking about?
I put the link up. This came directly from their website, from the European Council. Okay, who've got the whole thing. So what it
Right.
was originally, they had a meeting a couple of weeks ago where they decided, are we going to do this? Yes, we are. So now they've given themselves the timeline by the 24th of August to have a rough draft. And so what I'm getting people educated about this is we need to get a copy of that rough draft. We need to publish the absolute shit out of it everywhere, because I can guarantee you all these little nuances that I was speaking of are going to be in there, where they're going to use this as basically a control system that will supersede our constitution. It's an unelected body determining if and when there'll be a pandemic, right? And both Labor and Liberal are all in for it. They're all in. They're not even opposing it. I've been getting people to go to their local MP and ask them about it and print out the website page that explains it. Every single person that's come back to me has said, oh, they didn't know anything about it. And then I said, well, go back and ask them, would they support a UN policy? And out of the probably 20 odd that did it, half of them came back and said that they'll take it under consideration, meaning whatever their boss tells them they'll do. And the others said straight out, oh, yeah, well, the UN's a wonderful organisation and we should support them. So that's,
This is concerning to me, Danny, because of the defence
mm-hmm,
legislation amendment in 2020 that we had, which allows foreign troops, including UN
correct.
troops, to come onto our soil in a time of distress, and they have full
Correct. Well,
indemnity to
that's,
do
yeah,
whatever they want
correct.
to
And
our
that's something I
citizens.
wanted to point out to people too. Which army in our area of the world has the infrastructure and logistics to carry out policing actions in another country? Think, everyone, who has that ability? There's only one country in our area that has that ability, China, right? China. And China are on the advisory board of the UN, on the Security Council. And they also have a stake in the World Health Organization, right? So I keep telling people China is not going to invade Australia. China's not going to bomb Australia. China is going to move in just like an administration takeover. That's what it's going to be, right? They're just going to be allowed to come in under this UN law. And before you know it, once they understand the infrastructure, the lay of the land, the cops will be fired, the army will be rounded up, and all the people will be put into different camps and things like that. That's really what this is. So, yeah,
I'd like to see
sure.
what you're talking about, because I know that the World Health Organization met in, well, it was actually right at the release of Omicron, when they made all this fuss about Omicron, when the South African doctor, Dr. Coetzee, was saying this
Mm-hmm.
is very mild, and they were trying. She actually has come out and said Big Pharma has tried to silence her on multiple occasions. The government told her to stop telling people it was mild, and she said,
Mm.
I will not. And by the way, this is a
Yeah,
pro-injection doctor. But she said, I'm not going to lie to people. So at that time, I interviewed Dr. Tess Lawrie, who was saying this is a complete distraction from what's happening at the World Health Organization right now, where they're trying to bring in a global pandemic agreement, and it will supersede every country's constitution. That's what I'm aware of. So I didn't know that there was a separate one going on.
It's tied in with that, but it's the European Council that's running it, right? So it's still part of the UN. And this is what I'm saying. And as I said, the 24th of August is do or die day, because if they all decide that rough draft is going to go through, what they've actually said in their document, they want this basically in place by 2024. And that's, if people don't know, by 2025 is when they want to have this New World Order bedded down. They're giving themselves 5 years to 2030 to just finalise it, to weed out the troublemakers, and 2030 is when they're going to pop the champagne, when they believe that they'll have it all sorted. So it's interesting that the timing of this is they want it in law by 2024, just in time for the 2025 sort of consolidation of what they're trying to achieve. So
my other prediction around this, Danny, is that because they have actually accelerated a lot of what they've done, they've actually moved forward a lot of their plans. And you can tell by the sheer chaos that's ensued from them rushing their plans along. So I think even though they're saying that they want to implement this by 2024, I feel that they'll probably rush it a little bit more as well, because they're running out of narrative, right? They're running out of narrative. Unless they release some sort of crazy strains or viruses, which is very possible. We know that they've been doing that research. It's very possible that at any moment they could release hemorrhagic fever or any of the aboves that we've been hearing of.
Well, encephalitis. Encephalitis, I think, is the next thing, which brings on hemorrhagic fever from the mosquitoes. I don't know if you saw the thing on Netflix. They had a screensaver thing come up, and it showed a map of the world with little mosquitoes all over it, you know, on the different cities and things like that. Yeah, that was on Netflix.
I'm not surprised. They've been releasing genetically modified mosquitoes in various locations, so they've done anything.
Yeah, Bill Gates.
Yes. Actually, the Australian Courier Mail on Facebook, when they posted about the genetically modified mosquitoes, they actually posted a photo with a mosquito with a chip on its back. It was the most bizarre photo choice. So, yes. It's all very interesting. Well, thank you for making us aware. So you said you've got links.
Oh, I had a Telegram. I'll repin it on my Telegram. So this Danny Searle 1 is my Telegram. Or go to my Instagram and you'll see it. My Telegram link on there. Just one more quick thing. I noticed you were sort of talking a little bit about food shortages and things like that. Are you aware? You're probably aware of Cyberpolygon. So I did a talk last week on Clubhouse about that, which then led to, by the end of it, everyone saying, help us. So I'm going to be doing a prepping, how to prep. I've got a background in military stuff, so I know about that. Because Cyberpolygon threatens at this point to basically turn off the electricity and the internet for a couple of weeks, right? I honestly believe they're going to use that to try and force people into the jab, into the final, social credit system. Because look what they did to get people now. They fired people from their job. They restricted them from working, couldn't go to see their loved ones and things like that. That still didn't get everyone in, right? Not everyone took the jab. And so I think this possibly, and it's just a theory, that they may use, like cutting off the power on the internet, people will freak out, right? People won't like that at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's leverage to get people, to take it, basically.
Well, the World Economic Forum took off materials about Cyberpolygon from their website just recently. It was up there for the past, since they were talking about it. They did a talk in July of 2020 about Cyberpolygon, and they said that it would be much worse, much faster spreading than COVID. Sorry, I'm using
correct.
And I'm everywhere. So in that article, it actually said that once they switch everything off, people will have to get a digital V to join back into society. So this will be the final sort of hook for people to go and do it, because you've had 10 days without electricity. you've had no communications. Everything's chaos. All you've had is this EBS, which, by the way, they've been testing the EBSs constantly, you know, throughout the whole world. So you'll have this one message going across the whole globe that's controlled by these people. I don't know, who knows what sort of frequencies, what sort of signals they'll be sending during this time. I always say, Danny, they're far more advanced than
years advanced.
So yes, absolutely. So who knows how people will be responding psychologically to that, and they might just cave at that moment and say, you know what, I just need to eat, or I just need to live, and go and get it for that purpose. So the purpose of having these conversations, as wild as they sound, it was on the World Economic Forum website. It says that, I think it's gone now, but it said in order to get back into society, you will capital V. So there's no way to have that.
No, absolutely correct.
So you're not wrong.
And people, we're trying to tell you this so they don't get away with it, right? This is what they want to do. Doesn't mean they're going to do it. Because if we can raise awareness, if we can get people on board with this, it'll thwart their plans. And I don't know, I've got to go, but just quickly, I don't know if you've seen, there's a thing going around with the head of BlackRock. The CEO of BlackRock has stood down and basically said the New World Order plan has failed. Now they're going to plan B, and he's out. He's thrown in the towel, basically. So
I haven't seen him say that. I know he stepped down, but I haven't seen him actually say those words. It was interesting to see. What I do know is Edward Dowd, who's the former BlackRock portfolio manager of 10 years, I interviewed him. He said that Wall Street is definitely waking up to the fraud. They're starting to really panic because they've taken part in it, essentially. And so a lot of Wall Street is waking up, and money talks, Danny. So hopefully these people are, you know, and it's through the efforts of every single person around the world that's sharing information. Hopefully these people do realize what's happening, and they do actually snap out of it before it's too late.
All right, Maria, thank you very much for letting me on tonight. Good work, and I'll try and send you that link to the thing I was talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.
I appreciate it.